It's May 2025, and there are two new factors that are starting to affect the real estate market and that in turn will be affecting real estate photographers, but in a good way. So what I'm going to do in this episode is I'm going to talk about what those things are, the impact that they're going to have on real estate and real estate photographers, and then also how you can leverage that to your advantage so that you can get more clients and also make more money per gig. Now, first off, we have to remember that as real estate photographers, we're a type of inverse beneficiary. So that when the real estate market isn't that good for home sellers, it's actually a good market for real estate photographers. You might remember post-pandemic when houses were just flooding the market at one point, that stuff was just flying off the shelves. You've probably seen other markets like that as well, where you might not have even gotten called and houses were selling in your neighborhood. Or sometimes also you might get shoots canceled because houses were just flying off the market. But when houses stay on the market longer, that's when more marketing material is required. So really the relationship between being a real estate photographer and a real estate market is very simply that if more marketing material is needed, so are you. Now, this isn't to say as real estate photographers that we're some type of crisis capitalist. Nothing like that at all. It's just that some markets are that way where when somebody's services are required more to boost sales, then that business tends to do very well. And that's one of the keys to real estate photography. And that's being able to then produce really good marketing material so that you can help people sell homes. And when homes need more help selling, that's where you come in. So with that in mind, let's now take a look at the two factors that are starting to affect real estate, and then we'll get into the impacts that they're having and how to leverage that. Factor number one is that housing inventory is on the rise. We can see that by this recent graph by Realtor.com, where if we go back in time before the pandemic, houses fluctuated between seasons of having a lot of listings that would be on the market, and then they'd go down during the wintertime. And then when the pandemic hit, everything just fell off the map and listings were way down. Houses were moving quickly though because people were looking at buying bigger places because they were working from home. But that then settled out and then housing prices went up, something we'll get to here shortly. But one of the things you'll start noticing is just recently, back in just the last couple years, listings started going up, and just recently this year in 2025, listings have risen quickly. And I can attest to that. I've been extremely busy during the first quarter here of 2025, way busier than I was even in a busy 2024. And as I was out shooting a property in Ventura County just recently, a sign guy, he provides all the signs for the realtors going out there. Seen this guy tons of times. We cross paths as I'm there to shoot a house and he's waiting for me to get done so he can put up his signs. We were talking about it and he told me he literally ran out of real estate signs the week prior because there were just so many listings coming on the market. It's something we can see here from these statistics from the Ventura County Star that shows that the median listing price is starting to drop, and also the days on market is increasing by about 12%. And you can see the listings have increased exponentially at over 135%. And there are some reasons for this that you're probably aware of. Housing prices continue to climb, houses become less affordable, not just because of the high prices, but also mortgage rates are a lot higher than what they were just a few years ago. The insurance now is very high, and the property taxes have also gone up. All of this has made homes less affordable for buyers, and a lot of people have just given up buying. And sellers are starting to notice this and starting to fear that this may be the peak of the market. And sure enough, we're already seeing price drops here in Ventura County. LA is also. And so that means houses are staying on the market. When you list something, it may take now many months to sell. And that means that you also then need some better marketing material. But that also leads us then into the second factor that's affecting real estate right now. And the second factor, it's something that I touched on, and that's that the median days on market are rising. If we take a look at the last 5 years for the LA housing market, the median days on market is higher now than it has been in 5 years. So this is now climbing. You can see there's actually quite a steep incline just so far in 2025. But once again, as real estate photographers, we have this inverse relationship to market downtrends. So when we see shifts like this in the market, it actually becomes good news. And there are things that we can do then to leverage this to not just get more work, but get new clients and also to make more money per gig. Now, before getting to that, I did want to take just a quick break and mention that if you did want to learn more about real estate photography in general, then I would invite you to take a look at my courses on real estate photography. I have courses that cover professional interior photography, expert editing, exterior photography, videography for real estate, business and marketing for real estate, and I've also written best-selling books on real estate photography as well, and I have links to all that down in the description of this video. So 3 primary benefits that come out of this for real estate photographers is that first, you will have more homes to shoot, and that's because more houses are coming on the market. We've seen that through just recent statistics. Also then, it's not just anybody can take a photo. They're going to be looking for someone that can really help them up their game. Because also, something I've stated through many videos you probably heard me talk about is that realtors aren't just hired. They're interviewed by sellers. So when a realtor is in discussion with somebody selling their house, that seller is going to say, well, how do you market my property? Well, when they can show that they've actually got good marketing material for past houses, that impresses that seller, and that seller then has a higher chance of hiring that realtor. So photos, videos, all that, it's not always to sell the house, it's also to sell the agent, and that's something that the smart realtors understand. Either way, this will become more of a high volume thing, and it's already happening, like I said, like in my area. I'm hearing it from a lot of other real estate photographers as well, as things are starting to explode, and that's because more homes are coming on the market, but that's just number 1. Number 2, and it might be somewhat obvious, and that's that there'll be more add-on requests. So yeah, to really up their game, realtors can't just take a picture with a cell phone, put it on the market, and hope to sell the house the same day. As they have more photos, they're going to start throwing the kitchen sink at it. They're going to want a lot more stuff, and that's happening to me where I'm getting tons of add-on requests. Almost every single one of the gigs that I'm doing right now, I'm getting requests for at least one add-on. A lot of times that's videos, some of them are floor plans, but either way, there's more and more work that I'm getting, and also drone is being thrown into it quite a bit as well. And that leads us up to number 3 when it comes to these opportunities. And one thing that's really overlooked in markets like this is that this becomes the ideal time to reach out to realtors. Now, there's a couple reasons for that. One, they may have a hard time finding a photographer because the market is so busy with homes coming on the market for sale, and photographers are becoming overwhelmed with their schedules. But the other thing too, it's an opportunity to really show realtors that you can give them better media. What you do is just do some searches for houses in your area that have been on the market for more than 60 days. Those are the ones that are struggling, and it won't be long before that realtor could lose that job, their commission, and all their time and effort that was put into it. So if you look up these houses, you see some subpar photos, this is your grand opportunity to then reach out to that listing agent. Now, it may take a little bit of research to find out their phone number, but give them a call or send them an email. Let them know that you saw your listing at such and such. I think I could do a better job. Here's my portfolio. Give me a call. I'll give you a discount on your first job with me. Anyways, this is the opportunity because right now, the realtors are just as hungry as the sellers are to get their houses moving. And last up, I did want to talk just very briefly about something else that's starting to affect the real estate market, and it's more fear, and it's really what I would call fear for gear, and that's because of the tariffs that have been enacted starting in the United States. Now, a lot of people have said that camera prices are going to double and all this, and I'm sure prices will go up at some point. Right now, though, unlike a lot of other bloggers and YouTubers that are out for clickbait on we're going to end up having all these high prices from tariffs, I'm not going to sound the alarm just yet. I've been monitoring prices very closely on all the photography gear that I use and that I also recommend throughout my courses. So far, I haven't seen any price increases. That isn't to say that prices won't increase in the near future. And if you are thinking about buying some gear, you've been thinking about a certain light or a certain camera, a certain lens, couldn't hurt to maybe give some thought to buying that sooner than later just in case. there are talks underway. Obviously, we see things in the news all the time about that, and I'm not going to sound the alarm yet, like I said, but I am keeping a close watch on it. If something drastically happens, I'll have updates on my Facebook page, on my Instagram page also, and I'll do something here on this channel as well. Until that happens, I won't sound the alarm. I'm not going to have clickbait videos on it. But like I said, if you would like to err on the side of caution, it probably couldn't hurt that if you're already planning on buying some gear to maybe do so now. Either way, I'm going to be keeping an eye on not just the gear that we're going to have for real estate photography, but also the entire market and everything that's going along with it. And as things progress, I will keep you posted.